This chapter studies firms in perfectly competitive markets. And to know this market, we really want to know all other types of markets and how this market, which is perfectly competitive markets, are comparable to other markets, and how these markets are different from other types of markets. Okay. So these are all the possible types or structure of markets. And the one that we are focusing on in this chapter is the perfectly competitive market, which is also called perfect competition. And when we look at markets, we usually look at these characteristics which define the type of market that we are looking at or we are dealing with. And one of main characteristics is number of firms. So we have markets with plenty of firms, so many merchants, uh, many sellers in this market. So this is one of the extremes of market types. And then we have another extreme. And in this type, we just only have one seller, and this seller is monopoly. And in between, as we go to this direction, to this direction, number of sellers will go down. So in this market, we have less number of sellers compared to the first one, and then we have much less number of or a few number of sellers, and we could also have a market with only two sellers, and then we reach one seller, which will be considered as a monopoly. So very high number of sellers. This is called perfect competition, and this is monopoly with only one. And as we go few in number of sellers, the name of the type of this market will be different. So this is a monopolistic competition, and this market with very few number of sellers called oligopoly, and market with only two firms is called duopoly, and then monopoly. So this is this, and this is this. This is this. And then we have the monopoly. So in perfect competition, we have very high number of sellers. And in monopolistic competition, we have high number of sellers. And for oligopoly, we only have few number of sellers, and monopoly only one seller. But for duopoly, it's only two sellers, and then monopoly we just said that it is only for one firm working or operating in this market, which is monopoly. And the examples of these markets, so start by the easiest. So in monopoly, you can find firms operating in just one industry, like electrical firms, for example, كهرماء in Qatar. It's كهرماء. Qatar Post, Hamad International Airport. Also, some companies with patent the drugs, for example. For duopoly, only two firms working in one industry, and in Qatar you can find uh, Ooredoo and Vodafone. And for oligopoly, a few number of firms working in one industry, like automobile agencies in Qatar. Also, providers or sellers of mobiles. Also, they are few in number, like Apple, Samsung, Huawei. And for monopolistic competition, you can find restaurants, coffee shops, hair salon. And for the perfect competition, usually those who provide agriculture products, because those agricultural products they come in seasons, and the market get filled with these products. And in some places you can find street sellers. They come in one street and they supply or offer their products, and the street gets filled with all these sellers. Some other characteristics of these markets: type of products in each market. In perfect competition, it's almost identical. In monopolistic competition, products are differentiated. You can, as a consumer, differentiate between one product and another. Products that are in similar class. So, for example, in restaurants, they all provide soup, but one type of soup could be a little bit with different flavor from another, and you can differentiate. In oligopoly, uh, products could be similar or different, and in monopoly, it's just unique product. In oligopoly, it's similar service, a similar type of product, but with some differentiation in quality or efficiency, like what we notice the competition between Ooredoo and Vodafone, and similar class of products and services, but uh, with differentiated quality or and design of the service. Another important characteristic is barrier. We call it barrier to entry. How it's easy to get into this market as a new firm getting into this market. This is barrier of entry. So for monopoly, it's very difficult to enter this market operated by only one firm, and those markets usually are 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 controlled by the government. So only government firm or firms operate, like Qatar Airways, Kahrama. So the government doesn't give any license for newcomers to this market. And for oligopoly, you can get into this market, but it's not easy at all. And this is because you have to have a huge amount of capital and huge amount of labor, or even sometimes you need to have a high class of people who are innovative to come up with a product that you can sell into this market. So these called barrier to entry. Some barriers are coming from the government, and some barriers are coming from the nature of product that you want to sell in this market. And in monopolistic competition and perfect competition, it's much easier to get into these markets. So barrier of entry is mild or even not available here at all in perfect competition market. One more characteristic is related to information and control of prices. In perfect competition, information are perfectly available for all consumers and sellers. So sellers and consumers have no control on prices. So prices are given, but here in monopoly, there are a lot of information that are hidden, especially in the type of product provided and how it is made for people to consume. So in monopoly, the supplier or firm or seller, uh, they have perfect control on prices, and consumers have no control on prices. So as we go this way, the level of information becomes lower and more control of prices until we reach full control of prices in monopoly. So again, the characteristics of perfectly competitive market are mentioned here again. Plus perfect information are available for both sides of consumers and producers. Plus firms cannot have or cannot affect the market price, so they are price taker. Or we can also say that the price are given, so nobody has control on the prices. So here, if for this assumption, price taker or nobody has control on the prices, in this case, for each firm, because the firm is a price taker, whatever price is prevailing in the market, he's going to take it. So he has no control on the prices. So that's why if we assume that market set the prices on $4 for a product, which is orange. So whatever the quantity is going to be, the prices won't change for this individual firm. So in this case, this farmer or this supplier will face flat demand curve, which expresses that prices are set on this level, which is $4. So now we said that one seller cannot have impact on the market price. So this is the market price that this farmer is facing. However, this shows the demand and supply for the whole market in the perfectly competitive market. So what you notice here is that demand, the quantity demanded for this farmer, the collective demand is going to be for all farmers is demand for the products that all farmers are producing. So this is the market quantity demanded, but all this market quantity demanded are sold at this price, which is 4 at this equilibrium price and quantity demanded and supplied. But this whole market is for one product, which is called oranges. So all oranges in the market, uh, and this is the demand care for all consumers that want to consume oranges at this market price and this quantity. And this is the supply care for all sellers in this market, which is perfectly competitive market. Now, on the coming slides, we will explore how firm or a firm can maximize profits, and we need to explore many factors that could determine profit or loss. So profit is total revenue minus total cost, and this total revenue could be or identically could be measured by the price of a product multiplied by quantity sold minus price of all resources multiplied by quantity produced. So these are sales. So these are costs. Some other relations or indicators like average revenue and average revenue can be featured as total revenue divided by Q, which is quantity of production or quantity sold. And another indicator, which is very important, is marginal revenue. And marginal revenue, you want to know how much revenue could be added by selling one more unit of product. And this is the mathematical representation. Here is one table that represents data for a firm that is producing and selling orange. These are the amount sold or quantity sold. This is the price, and as you notice that the price is fixed because this firm cannot have any control over the price. And total revenue is just multiplication of quantity sold multiplied by the price. That gives you the total revenue. So 1 by 4 is 4, 2 by 4 is 8, 3 by 4 is 12, and so on and so forth. And average revenue is you um, divide total revenue over quantity sold. So 4 over 1 is 4, and 4 over 2 is, uh, 8 over 2 is 4, and 12 over 3 is 4, 16 over 4 is 4, 20 over 5 is 4. And as you notice that because the market price is flat or fixed for this firm, where it cannot have control over the market price, so the average revenue is going to be similar to the market price. And for marginal revenue is the difference between one stage and the stage later. So it is change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. So if you take any stage, for example, this one, so a new quantity and a new total revenue. So 20, which is a new total revenue minus 16, divided by 5 quantities minus 4 quantities. And this will yield 4 by 1 equals 4. So you will all get you will always get 4 because this firm faces one price and he's a price taker. Now we'll go to another table which has also information about cost, and we need to figure out the level of profit. So this is the quantity, and this is total revenue. We already figured it out and calculated it. Total cost, this information coming from the example. This is the profit, which is you take difference of total revenue minus total cost for each level of quantity sold. Marginal revenue already calculated in the previous table, and marginal cost is difference or change in total cost because of change in the quantity. So a new level of total cost minus previous level divided by new level of quantity minus previous level of quantity. So if you take, for example, any level, for example, this one, 2.5. So you take total revenue. So 12 minus 9.5. And this is a new level of quantity. So 5 minus the previous level. So this yields 2.5 over 1, which is equal to 2.5. So if you do a similar process for all of them, this is the way that we need to do. Now, the important thing here to say is there is a rule for maximizing profit. If you remember, there was a rule for maximizing utility in the previous part, and there was there were two criteria for utility to maximize. Uh, marginal utilities for different or for two products have to be similar and within the budget. But here in profit maximizing for firm, the criteria is a bit similar, but with different notions. So the criteria is that profits can be maximized when marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So this is very important criteria for maximizing profits. And if we look at these numbers here in these two columns, we will find that those numbers could be almost similar at levels between 6 and 7 here, because we have 4, and 4 is marginal revenue equals marginal cost. This is marginal cost somewhere here between these two numbers, because we have 4, and between 3 and 4 and 5 there is 4. So at this level, at this level of production between 6 and 7, marginal revenue equals marginal cost. And if we plot these two curves, we'll see in the next slide. Look at this one. So this is the now here price equals marginal revenue. Look at the previous. See the price here. Now this is marginal revenue, but look at the price price in the previous the slide before, you see the price is set at 4, and then the next slide we figured out marginal revenue to be also constant like the price. So in perfectly competitive market, always the price equals marginal revenue. So that's why we have in this curve marginal revenue and price are similar. And if we plot marginal cost numbers, you can use also Excel, you will find that the marginal cost is behaving like this. It starts from a lower, starts from a certain level, and then it goes down, and then it goes up again. It's like U-shaped, as we saw before in previous lectures. But now we want to know where the level of output that can maximize the profits. So the rule that we have to maximize profit is the marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and this when they intersect with each other, so this is going to be here. And as we said, it's between 6 and 7. So at this level, the profit is maximized. See here, we have again curves for total revenue and total cost. This is total revenue, and this curve is for the total cost. If you plot them in Excel, you will find that the maximum difference could be somewhere here between 6 and 7. This is the maximum difference. So here total revenue minus total cost gives you max profit. This is what it says here in the next slide, that profit maximizing happens when total revenue and total cost difference is greatest. And the level of output that gives you this maximum profit could happen when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. This is another mathematical presentation of how to define profits. We define profits as total revenue minus total cost. And total revenue is you multiply price by Q, as it is here. So if you rearrange these numbers, you will come to this formula. And you remember that total cost over Q is average total cost. This is average total cost. So we either use this formula or this formula according to the availability of information. Okay. So here again, we would like to know what profits this company could make or this firm could make, but some revision on cost function need to be mentioned here. You remember that we have here quantity and then cost. You remember the cost functions when we take an averages. We have average fixed cost, and then we have average variable cost, and then average total cost. And you remember that marginal cost comes to intersect the minimums of the average cost and minimum of average variable cost and average total cost. So this is marginal cost. For this graph, the uh, these two are taken here, but we'll use them all later on. So we have here marginal cost and average total cost, and they intersect in the minimum of the average total cost. And this curve is marginal cost, which is also price. And as you see here that this curve is above all of them. But when I say above all of them, we need to recall the criteria which says marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Sorry, I should put here marginal revenue, not marginal cost. So price equals marginal revenue. So you look at you look at where the level of output where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. I'll go back to our okay. So this is the point that we are interested in, the intersection between marginal cost and marginal revenue. So this is the level of output that achieves the maximum profit. So if you go down from this level and hit average total cost, so see this level is already covered. So the price is covering the cost here. So if you come down from the level of output where marginal cost equals marginal revenue and then go down, you will hit again average total cost. So this is all is the area showing the profit. This is the area showing profit. So price here, as you see, price is greater than average total cost. Here the price is greater than average total cost. In this case, this company is making profit. Okay, this is another example. We did this before in previous chapters. This is about calculation of all indicators in the cost function, but we are not interested in this now. We'll go to the next slide, which is related to this one, but now we will use more curves. So this curve, we know about this curve, marginal cost, and we know about this curve, which is marginal revenue equals price, and we know about this curve, which is average total cost. And the new curve is average variable cost, which is familiar to you. And here we want to determine the level of output that maximizes our profit or shows our loss. So I always have this criteria which says marginal revenue equals marginal cost. This determines the level of output that max profit or minimize loss, which means better not to go beyond the level of output that is determined with this rule. So where is the level in these curves where marginal revenue equals marginal cost? It is this one here. Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So now I have to draw line that touches average total cost. So this is the line that is touching, because now price here is lower than average total cost. So if I draw this line that hits average total cost, I will see that at this level, average total cost is greater than price. And in this case, this firm is making loss. So this is the level of loss. Okay, now for this one, uh, again, I ask where is the level level of output that maximizes or minimizes the maximizes profits or minimizes loss. I look at this criteria again, marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So this curve is marginal. This curve is marginal revenue equals price. So this is marginal revenue, and this is marginal cost, and they meet at this level. They intersect here at this level of output, and here, where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, we draw a line that hits average total cost. So this is the average total cost at this point. At this point, we see that all this is a profit now. And in this case, marginal, in this case, price, which is marginal revenue, is greater than average total cost, which means profits. So this area is profit. This is what we just said. If price is greater than average total cost, this means the profits. If they are equal, then this is called break even. And if price is less than average total cost, this firm is going to incur losses. Again, this for this firm, it's all one firm, but for this case, you will see that this is marginal revenue equals demand equals the price because this is the perfectly competitive market. So we need to look at where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So they intersect here. This is marginal cost, and this is marginal revenue. So they intersect here. And if you draw from this level where marginal cost equals marginal revenue, if you draw a line that hits average total cost, you will see that this firm is making losses here. So here it's loss, but here this firm is breaking even, no loss and no profit. So this is marginal revenue equals profit equals price, and this is marginal cost. And you want to look at where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. It is at this level, and if you draw line from this level that hits average total cost, they meet at the same point here. So there is no loss and no profits. So this is called break even point where there is no loss and no profits. Okay, until now, I think we need to stop here, and then we'll continue by introducing the idea that when the firm can shut down the activities or reduces output because of losses that it faces in the short run. And until here, we are just exploring profits when marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and then um, uh, in relation with the average total costs. What about if we expand the uh, analysis by uh, introducing the average variable cost to make it related with our idea of whether to shut down or reduce operations as I just said, and this will continue in the next video. Thank you.